Hi everybody, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really and truly help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day of the week. Let's get started. And our first one comes from No Stripes on This Zebra. Am I the beehole for telling my stepmom I wouldn't care even if you were drowning in your own blood? After years of pressuring and getting rid of my stuff, I, a 19-year-old female, don't like my stepmother, a 46-year-old female. She's my older brother's, a 26-year-old male, and younger brother, a 13-year-old male, biological mom, but not mine. My dad dated my mom when he was separated by my stepmother. My mom got pregnant with me, and he left my mom to go back to my stepmom. My mother has a terminal illness and is in a different country and is staying with my aunt. And she wants me to stay with my dad, who I'm not close with, or my stepmother. I am very close to my step-siblings though. I love seeing them, but I despise staying at my father's house. It always feels like I'm a puppet for my stepmom, and my stepmom loves to be in control. My stepmom had always been pressuring me to do things that she wants. She called me by different nicknames, not even close to my name. My name is Bonnie, and she calls me Cassidy. She even pressures me on what to wear. She has gotten rid of stuff that my mom gave me, and she doesn't agree to, or this is satanic. Those are her favorite words, and she loves to use them on me. She loves to pressure me about calling her mom, even when I told her that I have a mom. She talks badly about my mother in front of me, even when my own mother is dying. She is that despicable. I have told my father and he's done nothing at all. It got to the point where I was hanging out with my brothers and my friends had invited me to go hang with them. When I was about to leave, my stepmom got in my way and wouldn't let me leave. Even when my older brother told her to move, she said no, and I had to stay home and pray with her before I go. She knows I'm an atheist, and I get really uncomfortable when religion is pressured on me, as I don't care what people believe in. I just screamed at her to get the hell out of my way, and I wouldn't care if she drowned in her own blood. And I'd just watch her and do nothing. Everyone was quiet and stunned. I just walked out and went to see my friends. I did come home at night, and my father was waiting for me and said I was out of line. And I need to apologize. I didn't want to, and now my father said he banned me from going out and seeing my friends. I just walked into my room and packed my stuff. Now I'm staying at a close girlfriend's of mine. I'm wondering, am I the beehole? Hi, OP. No, you are not the beehole. It sounds like this woman is terrible and nobody wants anything forced onto them like that. I see some people saying in the comments how it might have been harsh how you handled it and phrased it to her. I don't think so. You didn't curse or anything like that. You just told her how you felt. And what's with people like that? We used to know a family friend like that who was super religious but wouldn't do anything religious and would lie, cheat, and steal, raised a bunch of cheaters and stealers who tried to jump us once. So I don't know, maybe that's just the thing. People, lie through their teeth. Ugh. But yeah, back to OP. I don't know what to tell you. Can you keep, staying with your friend? Because it sounds like you need to get out of that house. Sounds like your father is basically whooped and will bend to anything that woman says. Ugh. And the apologizing part, I bet you that was him riding his back, telling him, you better get her to apologize to me. And he just wants to be done with it. Sounds like he's a pretty bad dad, too. You're 19, which you're still really young, which sucks, but I think you're at the point where you're gonna need to, find a job, find a roommate, and get the hell out of there. I don't think you're gonna ever see eye to eye with that woman. Good luck, OP. And our next one comes from 123 Myopia. Am I the beehole for refusing to let influencers take pictures of my food? So, I recently went out to lunch with friends of ours who had also invited this couple who are social media influencers. Ugh. We were told more people would be there, but not that they would be influencers. We all ordered, and as a side note, every single thing that was discussed at the table basically became content on their next couple of videos. But anyway, by the time the food arrived, we were all really hungry. Once everybody's food arrived, we were all about to dig in, but the influencer couple stopped us, and they said they needed to take pictures. I waited about 2 minutes. They kept taking pictures from different angles, and after a point, I said, sorry guys, it's my cheat day, and I'm really hungry, and started eating. After eating, they wanted us to give them short clips reviewing the food, and I declined. Because I just met these guys. I wasn't comfortable with being on their social media. Now, the two influencers are extremely PO'd with me and saying that I'm a beehole for not letting them take pics and not helping them with their content. A few people voiced that I could have cooperated more. Am I the beehole here for not letting them take pictures and refusing to do a video clip? Edit. It was Dutch. Everyone paid for their own food. They couldn't even get us a discount from the restaurant for featuring them on the video. They asked the owner and he refused. Edit 2. They actually both have legit paying jobs. Both of them work in marketing / advertising, and one of them is a manager level. Hi OP, first of all, you are not the beehole. I hate this influencer nonsense. I never got the whole, let's take pictures of food and put them on our socials. I have little to no socials. I think I had a Facebook years ago, which I don't remember how to log into at all. I also thought you were a lot nicer than me, giving them 2 minutes to take pictures of your food. I would have given them none. I would just start eating. Also, them wasting time trying to get the perfect angle sitting there for 2 minutes. Your food is getting cold, man. Ugh. And also that part where they asked you to talk on their social media and give a little review of the food. That's not cool. You don't just force people into doing that. You ask people in advance if they're willing to be featured onto their show, video, whatever it is. And if they say no, then the answer is no. And this also reminds me of that episode of South Park where Cartman and everybody in the town were influencers and they kept getting free food off the people who own the restaurants, and eventually they snapped and said they weren't gonna, give in to the influencers anymore. Kind of sounds like that's what this restaurant owner is doing. He's not in the mood for any of this BS. Now, if they had told you all of this in advance and they paid for your food and you agreed to it, then you would have been the beehole. But from what it sounds like, you went Dutch, you had this sprung on you, you were not the beehole. And influencers are super annoying. I that word makes me cringe nowadays. Our next one comes from Sensitive Cut 9117. Am I the beehole for hosting my own Thanksgiving after my daughter-in-law didn't invite me to hers? I came here for another opinion. My daughter-in-law does not like me. My son got her pregnant in college. And I told him to get a paternity test, since he's not exclusive with her, and she wasn't either. He told me she was seeing other people. And he did, and he is the father. This is the first time I met her. She told me it was not a pleasure to meet the person who thinks she's a whore. I never called her that. I tried to explain, but got cut off by my son. Me and him had a conversation, and he told me to drop it. Shotgun wedding, and 1 kid later, our relationship is strained. I see her at family events, but that's really it. I have been blown off so many times for inviting them out, and I don't anymore. I've accepted that I won't be a strong presence in their lives or my grandkids. Now, the family rotates who does holidays. It's her time to host Thanksgiving. I gave a text asking what time I should be over and if they want me to bring anything. She told me I wasn't invited, but my husband is. I talked it over with him, and we decided to host our own. I informed the other kids on what happened, and I will have dinner at my place if they wanted to go. Well, none of the other kids are going now, and I'm getting texts from her and my son that I'm acting like a jerk and to cancel my Thanksgiving. Mini update. I sent a text with screenshots about not being invited to my son. According to him, he didn't know I wasn't invited and thought I was hosting just to piss off his wife. He sent texts that confirmed that. I have called daughter-in-law to ask about how he presented the paternity test and if they were exclusive at the time. She didn't pick up, so I'll ask over text and give my side of the story. We'll inform when she responds. I got thrown under the bus, and they were on break when she got pregnant. Apparently, they dated for like 2 months, had a break, became F-buddies again, and got back together. Then, she found out she was pregnant. He presented it as me forcing him to have the test. So, they're going to deal with that now. Okay, first, you are not the beehole. I was going to blame this all on the chick your son's dating, which she doesn't sound like a great person either, but your son was the one who was the catalyst to all of this nonsense. You were being a good mom, telling him to get a paternity test because she wasn't with him at the time, and that might not be his kid. Because I know if I asked someone for a paternity test and they started acting like how she did, getting offended and indignant about it, I would assume that's not my child. Because if someone knows that, that's my child, they'll be like, yeah, let's take the test. I have nothing to worry about. But when she first met you, she handled that like a child, saying that she's the person who calls her a whore. No, you ask her, hey, this is what so-and-so told me. Can we please talk about this? And figure out why this is this way. This feels like one of those situations you usually see in TV shows where the problem could easily be resolved if the two parties came together and just talked about it. Instead, everything blows up into this huge fight because nobody wants to talk about it. And also, even after hearing that stuff about the son, that brazenness, cancel your Thanksgiving. I'm not canceling my Thanksgiving. I'm not invited to your Thanksgiving because I know if that situation happened and my mom called me and she was like, "Oh, you can go to them or come to me." After all this, I would go to my mom's because I don't blame the rest of your family. But as much as that girl is not great, and I do blame her, your son, like I said back then, was the catalyst. He needs to figure that out and fix this whole problem that he created. And our next one comes from Classic Cup 57-1. Am I the beehole for asking my sister to leave my engagement party or not steal all of the attention? I, a 25-year-old female, got engaged to the love of my life, Ben, a 30-year-old male. We wanted to throw an engagement party and let our families get to know each other better. My sister, Avery, a 31-year-old female, who has been the favorite among all the family members our whole lives, came back home the week before the engagement party. She's been traveling all over the world, Southeast Asia, Africa, Middle East, as a physician, and has now opted for a change in her life. She has always had the spotlight. Even in my high school graduation, she wasn't even there. Everyone mentioned how amazing she was because she went to the same school and how I had followed in her footsteps. Wherever she goes, she just makes everyone else disappear. Before the party, I told her how this party was important for both Ben and I. I also asked her for to once let the day be about me. She agreed. During the party, everyone from my side of the family just briefly saw us and went to Avery to ask her about her adventures in Uganda or Yemen. In just half an hour, she had the whole family around her. I called her out and said she needed to try and not take the spotlight once more. She said I was being ridiculous and it was not her fault she had a life that people just wanted to know about. I told her she could either go back inside and keep a low profile for the rest of the night, or leave the party and talk about herself as much as she pleased. She called me pathetic and jealous and left. My parents are mad at me and are saying I should have understood the situation and made a better judgment. Am I the beehole? I'm gonna have to go with you're the beehole on this one, OP. I'm looking in the comments and I kind of remember what membership bitter. I feel like this is also a very biased account of what happened. Literally every person was gathered around your sister, completely ignoring the people at the party it's thrown for. My money is on OP, has some very serious jealousy issues and blows everything out of proportion when she isn't the center of attention. The truth could be that two people were talking to Avery and OP went nuts. Yeah, I agree with membership bitter. And also, what did you expect? Yeah, people are going to congratulate you on getting married, but what are they going to be like? Oh, you got engaged? Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the person going on adventures in different parts of the world and see what they have to say. It's more interesting. You need to get over it. I've seen children who have had birthday parties thrown for them handle this better when people aren't paying them attention. And our final one comes from WillingAd6818. Am I the beehole for telling my daughter she will never get her late mom's jewelry if she doesn't change? I will try to keep this short. My wife passed 3 years ago, and she owned really expensive jewelry. In total, I would think it would cost more than $100K. A lot is passed down, and she would save for years to buy expensive pieces. My daughter, age 27, is bad with money. She works with commission, so her cash flow is different each month. One month, she makes a ton, and the next, she is broke and sell what she bought last month. She will spend all of her money and then have to sell it to make ends meet the next month. I have tried to get her to be responsible with money, but she is an adult and there isn't much I can do. I have watched this dance for years. She called me up and asked when she can take her mom's jewelry. I told her I would prefer to keep it at my home. This started an argument about how I'm not using it. I told her she will never get her jewelry unless she changes, that I would prefer to keep it in a box, then let her sell it when she F's up her money again. She called me a jerk, and my wife's family is getting involved. Edit. Since it was asked a lot, everything went to me when she passed. Daughter has no claim on them, and I would have handed them over if she wouldn't sell them. Hi, OP. This one's a pretty easy one for me. You are not the beehole. Judging by your daughter's previous actions and how she handles money, there's no way she's not going to sell all of that jewelry. Plus, your wife left it to you, not to her. You have no obligation to give her that jewelry, and I assume it means a lot to you because it's from your late wife. You don't have to give it to her. I wouldn't give it to her, and unless you want to, like you said, if she made the change and you can trust her not to sell your wife's jewelry, then yeah, I guess give it to her, but the way she is now, don't give her anything because you're going to lose that jewelry and you're going to lose pieces and parts of your wife that way. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for making it to the end with me. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.